she had worked in a public library for 6 years. During her time in the program, Diane served as the marketing chair for the North Carolina Library Association for the public library section. During her time in the LIS program, she also served as treasurer of the Library and Information Science Student Association and as a student community leader for the American Library Association. She worked as a graduate research assistant with Dr. Noah Lenstra on the Healthy Eating and Active Living initiative, and she completed her practicum at the Mixer Community Makerspace. Diane's focus has been on community engagement through health literacy and makerspaces. She has already started her new job as a librarian at Marshall University. Welcome tonight, Diane. We look forward to your words.
Adjust my camera here. Hello, thank you so much, Dr. Bird. Faculty, staff, families, and friends, thank you for being here today and throughout this journey to support these amazing graduates. And my fellow classmates, I am so happy to be here with you tonight to recognize all the effort and learning that we have achieved to reach this point. I've been inspired by the many professors and students whose paths I've crossed, and I'm grateful to every one of you for sharing your experience, your wisdom, your passion, and your dedication. Those of you who have been in class with me these past couple years may find this hard to believe, but for most of my life, I have been very quiet, rarely speaking at all, especially in any kind of group setting. I would get involved, but always stay behind the scenes, quietly in the shadows. To be honest, I usually felt like everyone else had more important or valuable things to share than I did. And I've benefited so much from listening to all of your unique perspectives. And I'm regularly comforted by those among us who have the courage to speak up about society's unspeakable topics, breaking down stigmas that surround so many aspects of our lives and reframing our reality. The thoughts that live inside my head are so common to me. It took a long time for me to realize that other people don't have access to them, that my ideas are actually mine alone. And maybe my thoughts are your unique perspective or your solidarity. So I've gradually learned to share more. And today I want to share a little bit of my truth. So I'm actually pretty terrified of public speaking. I'm getting better at it, but my hands are trembling even right now. And I've never imagined that I would be asked to speak at graduation. The thing is, when someone I respect asks me to be involved in something, like Dr. O'Connor asking me to speak tonight, I'm always so surprised that they thought of me. And then I get so excited to be included, and before I know it, I've agreed to do whatever they ask me to, even before I really understand what it is I'm agreeing to. I must have developed some reputation for saying yes, because people ask me all the time. And it seems like I have a pretty high regard for people because I usually agree. Over the years, this tendency of mine to say yes to nearly everything has caused me some overcommitment problems and some moments of extreme stress. And at times, it's negatively affected my health and my relationships. But it's also provided me with countless life-changing experiences. Sometimes people have asked me to do incredible things that I never would have imagined for myself, like chaperoning a 3-week trip to England, or painting murals on the sidewalk, or playing the role of Lord Montague in Romeo and Juliet. Who would have thought? And saying yes has also led me on long journeys of professional growth. For example, when I was unexpectedly nominated and then elected president of the local business association, I developed much stronger relationships than I had as simply a member of the same organization. People began to hear my voice and understand my ideas instead of just recognizing my face. This created more opportunities when one of those relationships led to an offer to donate a 3D printer to my library and teach me how it works. Saying yes to the printer, in turn, allowed me to develop a small makerspace within the library, which was followed by an invitation to present at a staff development event. And those experiences were a key part of developing my capstone experience with Mixer Community Makerspace, creating video tutorials and equipment like 3D printers and laser cutters. Now I'm in a new position. I've been here 4 days as a librarian at Marshall University, and I'm already engaging in conversations to build a multidisciplinary makerspace within the library to introduce students to making concepts and technologies, regardless of their department or their concentration. I am certain that I would not have been selected for this position without the experience I gained by saying yes. To me, saying yes is an intrinsic part of having a growth mindset. Mindsets can be categorized as growth or fixed. The growth mindset research of Dr. Carol Dweck shows that believing you can learn makes you more likely to accept new challenges. Like most things in our life, our mindset is not all one or the other, and we move along that continuum throughout our lives. The very act of enrolling in a graduate program shows that you already have a developed growth mindset. And I think all of us in this graduating class would agree that completing this program has been challenging. And to varying degrees, we might admit struggling through it. I believe there's a great benefit in struggling. Struggle brings change. And we certainly feel more pride in accomplishing something that was harder to do. But more importantly, we gain an understanding and a compassion for others who also struggle. I think the Department of Education, this idea of struggle compassion is especially important because learning is hard. When you're at the very beginning and know so little about a subject, you don't even know what questions to ask. And all the new information is so overwhelming. Or when you finally understand a concept, but you're frustrated that you can't turn that understanding into action. Or when you're finally at the point of presenting your new knowledge for the first time, maybe the second or even the third time. The idea of being judged harshly is terrifying. There are many definitions for education, but I think they all seem to leave out how emotionally taxing the process of moving from ignorance to understanding and then finally to mastery truly is. When I say yes to something, it doesn't come from already being comfortable and confident. Although it's lovely when I am, it comes from the excitement of being involved in something new. Saying yes has introduced me to new ideas and taught me new skills. It's helped me build valuable relationships and allowed me to make a positive impact in my community. And so today, I encourage you to say yes to the opportunities that present themselves. But I do so gently, recognizing that your situation is unique to you, and there are very many legitimate reasons to say no. I believe blanket advice can be terribly detrimental by offering inappropriate counsel and causing undue guilt. I could just as easily have written a 10-minute speech about all the reasons to say no. But my experience is that yes is the answer that I find most rewarding. So I also want to remind you that not all yeses are equal. And the most fulfilling yes is not a solo journey. You can accept help and maintain boundaries while still being open to unexpected opportunities. My wish for each of you is not that you will blindly agree to every demand that is placed upon you, saying yes at all costs. I've tried that. It's a recipe for disaster. No, my wish is that you will be presented with a multitude of opportunities and that you will have the wisdom to say yes to those that will allow you to grow in a healthy and fulfilling way with an amazing team that supports and encourages you. So here we are at the end of this formal degree program, but we are not done learning or growing. So welcome the chance to expand your experience whenever you can, and you are sure to go farther than you ever expected. Congratulations, graduates.
Thank you so much, Diane, for sharing your experience and sharing your truth with us. Just another round of applause. So here to speak on behalf of our Master's in Education and Instructional Technology program is Gabby Recklaw. Gabby is currently working in her second year at Greensboro Day School after serving as an intern in the beginning of her program here. She's now the middle and upper school media technology support specialist, the media coordinator, and the STEAM specialist. I've only gotten to work with Gabby this past semester, but in that time, she's repeatedly inspired me with her passion for teaching and learning with technology. It's very clear that she cares deeply about her students and about her colleagues. Gabby, thank you so much for agreeing to share your experiences with us here today. Take it away.
Thank you, Katie. I really appreciate that. And it's been a joy getting to know you this semester as well. So yes, I just want to start by saying thank you so much to all my friends and family and to Greensboro Day School especially for supporting me in this journey. I couldn't have done it without you, and it just means the world having you by my side. So thank you. Also, congratulations, class of 2022. We did it. I cannot tell you how meaningful it's been being able to journey with so many of the same students throughout these different classes and courses. Getting to experience this growth together has been wonderful, and it's just nice knowing that I've had such a strong group that's been there to support me, and I've been given the opportunity to support you. So congratulations, we're here. Today, I want to talk to you about creativity, because that's one of the things that has stood out to me the most in this program and has been a constant flow in my life that I want to share with you, because creativity is what's brought us here today. Creativity is what drives us, and creativity is what's going to pave our future. And what do I mean by that? Well, let me start by telling you about my grandmother. She's the one that inspired me to go into education. And she made the world's best banana pudding. Now, I know you probably have someone in your head that's popped in right now that you're like, no, this person makes pretty good banana pudding. You're wrong. You've not tried Shirley Austin's banana pudding. This is hands down the best banana pudding. But the thing that stood out the most about it is the smiley face that she would always put on top. And it would only take one moment. She would just set aside those vanilla wafers, and then whenever she finished making that banana pudding, she would form it into a smiley face put it in its storage container, and then put a lid on it. And so then whenever she would bring it, she would pull back that lid, and then bam, there's a cute little smiley face there to greet you. And it always meant so much to me because sometimes I was stressed, or maybe I was having a pretty good day, but just having that smiley face just added it to the extra. And the thing is, it was just one moment, and it impacted not only my day, but it's impacted my life. Because of that, I'm reminded what creativity can do. It started when I was going to UNCG for my bachelor's in marketing. And I chose business because I was homeschooled, wasn't too sure exactly what I wanted to go into, and business seemed like the logical choice. Well, turns out that the thing that I was feeling most fulfilled in was the thing that I was being most creative in, and that was getting to tutor at the UNCG Speaking Center as a communications consultant and be a business statistics tutor. I was so nervous being a communications consultant because I was very shy. I would blush constantly. I could barely breathe and talk at the same time. So I was like, why am I applying to be a communications consultant and teach people how to public speak when I don't think I can? But it's kind of like what Diane was saying. By saying yes, I was able to grow and get creative with myself and see where I could go farther with that. And it taught me so many skills. And I was able to share that knowledge with others, which was huge. But once I graduated, I couldn't just continue working at the speaking center because I needed to take on a full-time job and move onward. So I worked for a small business. And I noticed that, again, wasn't feeling as fulfilled as I was when I was getting to let my creativity fly and working, educating others. And I was doing more kind of like online asset management and working with inventory. And so I started to try to apply creativity again. I started looking at ways that I could put that smiley face on the banana pudding by creating different training manuals, working with the student team and training them, educating them on things that I've learned in my customer service careers and what I could do to help them. And then I ended up switching gears and going into healthcare IT. That was a big change, but I love technology and I wanted to see what was out there. And I had a friend that worked in it. So I thought, hey, let me try this out and see how it fits, see if I really do enjoy technology. Well, I ended up having to learn like 30 different applications that I had never played with before. And I had to not be afraid to learn it. I had to not be afraid to just play with it. So I ended up just jumping in head first, and I not only learned all those applications, but I was able to start training others on how to use them. And I taught classes at work on how to do these new technologies. And then anytime a new application was coming in, I was the one that would go in, learn it, and then write the manuals and educate others on how to use it. But I still wasn't quite feeling that same feeling. And it was a very stressful job too, because I would sometimes have to wake up at like 4 a.m. and be at the ready to help a patient that might be on the table and they're having issues with the x-ray machine and they need it for this patient that's on the surgery. So I decided that I liked the technology piece, but I wanted to pull away from healthcare. So my sister, she worked at High Point University and she was able to connect me with some people, and I was able to start working there some, and I got into education. And that's where I learned about education technology. And there was just something deep within my soul that finally like recognized what I'd been looking for all this time. And so when I started doing some more research, I was excited to find out that I needed to go back to my home roots, that UNCG was offering this awesome instructional technology program and offering a licensure in it. So I decided to jump into that. And that's where I really was able to let my creativity fly. I got to meet with Dr. Chow and Tammy Brewer, and I learned about what it means to just go for it and don't let fear hold you back. Don't be afraid to get creative, to throw out new ideas, and to ask what ifs. And this was tough for me too, because I had had a rough year that year. I was struggling with agoraphobia. And I knew that there was this internship I was going to have to do with this program. And I was okay with the fact that the program was online because it meant that I was safe and in a safe place. But then I kept hearing about this internship and I was like, oh gosh, I'm going to have to get over this if I want to do this, because I'm not going to I want to do this wholeheartedly. Well, it turns out I got into Greensboro Day School, and I was like, this is the school I've been waiting for. This is the one I've been wanting. And so I started getting creative with how I viewed myself. I started viewing myself as being successful in driving to the place, being successful in working at Greensboro Day School. And I started seeing a psychiatrist and getting taken care of. And sure enough, when I went to Greensboro Day School, I was more at home than at my home. I immediately just loved it there. I remember the first hour, Annie Goskley was giving me a tour of the campus, and I was like, okay, now that I'm bleeding green and gold, what would you like me to do next? Because I was so set and so like ready to just go with the school's mission that I didn't care what I had to do. I was willing to do and learn whatever I could while I was there. And I have found the greatest team ever. I'm so grateful to be working with Dr. Dana Smith, with the STEAM technology group, and with Chrissy Olson and Jesse Case and Tim Cook. They've all been so instrumental in helping me in completing this program and be who I am. And they allow my creativity to shine. They allow me to look at things, decide if I think I can throw in a more creative aspect out into it and just let it shine. And that's the thing that I want you to take away from with what I'm sharing in my story and my experience today, is that no matter what you may be thinking, don't be afraid to be creative. If you think about it, we learn about that design process and the ADDIE process and all of that, and how we're to analyze others' needs and then research and apply those new processes. But the biggest part of that is the creativity that comes from that. If we don't allow ourselves to get creative and find new solutions on how we can meet those needs, then we're not going to make those new solutions. We're not going to thrive. If I had not allowed myself to get creative and think, yeah, I think I'll try educational technology, I wouldn't be the happiest that I've ever been in my life. I wouldn't have left an abusive marriage. I wouldn't have left and done all these things in my personal life. I wouldn't have done all these amazing things at work, and also being able to complete this program on top of all of that. This program has shown me that you can do anything as long as you're creative and you put your mind to it. So congratulations, class of 2022. Creativity is what has brought us here. Creativity is what drives us. Creativity is what has paved our future. You're creators, now go create.
Thank you so much, Gabby. That was absolutely wonderful. Saying yes and being creative. What great advice that you've been given. I want to say just really briefly before I introduce our guest speaker that I forgot to do two important things. I forgot to do one important thing. One thing I forgot is to introduce myself, but you've probably figured that out by now that I'm the department chair. So I should have done that. The more important thing that I forgot to do was also thank our staff. Greg Hoffman, I know, has helped so many of you through this program, and he is a very important part of our success. So could we just give him a really quick round of applause before we move on? And I apologize for forgetting to thank him when I was thanking our faculty as well. All right, now to our guest speaker. Amy Archambault earned her MS in Instructional Technology from Bloomberg University and her MLIS from us, from UNCG. She's our alum, 2013 alum. So we're glad to have you back, Amy. She has worked in K-12 and community college environments, both as an instructional designer and as a librarian. She is currently interim director and assistant director of instructional design for the Office of Online Education at Wake Forest, where she works to build effective partnerships for online and hybrid learning. We're so excited to have you back. Amy, thank you for saying yes. And we welcome you to make your remarks now.
Thank you so much for the warm welcome and the introduction. I'm really excited to be here. It is truly an honor to be invited to speak tonight, and I'm very appreciative. So thank you, Diane and Gabby, for paving the way. I hope I can speak half as eloquently as you both. Congratulations to the class of 2022 this evening. This is a momentous occasion, and I'm excited for all of you. I won't dare to try to be inspiring, but I hope that what I share will be supportive as you enter the next step in your path. As I was reflecting upon my own experiences, I kept circling around this idea of belonging. That seems like a really strange topic to engage in as a graduation theme. But as I thought more about it, belonging was something that brought me to my professions as both a librarian and an instructional designer. It was a quest to take the skill sets, interests, and ideas I had, all imperfect and jumbled up, and figure out a way to make it all somehow work and get paid. Belonging was essential to me, but not in the way I expected and not in the way I thought I understood what belonging meant. Tonight, I want to share two complementary definitions of belonging. The first is about being able to be your authentic self, and the second is about belonging in your workplace or profession. So let me share about the first part of belonging, being able to be your authentic self. Brené Brown is one of my favorite authors. Some of you may be familiar with her numerous books and her two very successful podcasts, Daring to Lead and Unlocking Us. I want to share with you this quote from her book, Braving the Wilderness, where she talks about belonging. In this book, Brown writes that true belonging is, and I quote, believing in and belonging to yourself so deeply that you can share your most authentic self with the world. You can be part of something and stand alone. True belonging doesn't require you to change who you are. It requires you to be who you are. This is powerful stuff, to put it mildly. In my own career experience, I have adhered to Robert Frost's invitation to take the path less traveled. I have not had a linear career trajectory. My guess is that many of you here today have come to this moment in a variety of career twists and turns, hoping to fulfill a mission of your own. I came to instructional design purely by accident. My roles after undergraduate graduation focused on more marketing and some graphic design type work. I discovered instructional design, or rather, it discovered me as I was searching for belonging in a world where I couldn't quite call myself a graphic designer, but didn't really want to go back to art school. I was interested in technology and art, but was having a hard time finding the right place. As it happened, my fiance, now husband, had started a new job and was being trained on some new software in his department. I remember him coming to me and saying, Amy, I think you need to talk to the trainer, Regina. She's a graduate of Bloomsburg University's instructional tech program, and I think it would be a great fit for you. And it was one of those times in our relationship that he was actually right. I spoke to Regina, met with several faculty members, and I enrolled in the next cohort. My program at Bloom was amazing, and I have never regretted getting that degree or becoming an instructional designer. This was my first career experience where I felt as if I belonged. However, we all grow and change, and after working for Syracuse University as an instructional designer for several years, I was getting restless. I was a bit frustrated with my career path at this point. The university startup I was working at was dissolved within the first 2 years of my hire, and I found my days long on time and short on real instructional design project work. I happened to attend a library event and get acquainted with one of the university librarians. I quickly saw that instructional design skills would be a welcome support to the work this librarian was doing. We started working together, organizing her research and instruction courses using instructional design practices. I was hooked. Fast forward to 2009 when I enrolled at UNCG to test the waters in their library and information science program. This time I had not one, but two children under the age of 3, had to drive 40 minutes once a week, and was working freelance jobs to fund my tuition, books, and other expenses. However, at UNCG's LIS program, I found belonging again. These were my people. My colleagues were vastly different in how they arrived at this degree. Homemakers, teachers, musicians, artists. It was exciting and refreshing. Everyone had a different story, and no one's path was a straight shot. We had all found our way to this moment in the way a lot of good things happen, some planning and a whole lot of luck. That's not to say everyone was there by luck or happenstance. There definitely were those who had decided this was the path for them and had made definitive plans. It's just to say that many of us came through to librarianship through accidental discovery. Reflecting back on Brené Brown's definition of belonging, I felt that each of us were a part of something while still being our individual selves. So now let me share about the second part of belonging, feeling included in your workplace and profession. When I embarked on what I thought might be the career of my dreams, I found I really struggled and began to doubt my passion. I had started working in an elementary school and was just floundering. I love the kids, I love the books, I did not love anything else. I didn't fit in at an elementary school, and I didn't fit in as a school media specialist. Or this is what I thought. When I walked away from this job, I felt I had failed. How I had found so much belonging in my library program, but not in this job. Well, it's not so much that I didn't belong in an elementary school. It was more the case that I didn't fit in at this particular school. Thank you, Diane, for bringing up Carol Dweck, because I'm also going to bring her up. She is, again, the researcher who has made growth mindset a household phrase. She states that research demonstrates that workplace cultures that value a growth mindset see greater trust, engagement, innovation, and ethical behavior, more belonging. Belonging is more than just being true to ourselves. It goes to the heart of what our workplaces and professions show us they value. It's about people in leadership who are shaping our spaces, which can cause us to question our paths and our sense of belonging. Now, I don't regret my decision to leave elementary school librarianship. However, I do sometimes wonder if I should have tried another place that would have been more accepting and welcoming. It was a good lesson that I would reflect upon as my career advanced into leadership roles. This past August, I assumed the interim director role of my office. And with that, I began to manage a 4-person team of designers plus 3 graduate media editors. It's been a lot, to say the least. Almost all of my staff is remote, working from home with spouses, children, babies, and dogs. We've braved the pandemic together and so many other things in this past 2.5 years. When our former director left, it created a lot of uncertainty and worry. So creating a sense of belonging has been central to my work and helping connect my team to each other and to the faculty and staff on a primarily residential campus. My goal is to help my employees be their authentic selves at work and always feel that they belong in their workplace. My hope is if and when they are ready to leave to go on to their next opportunity, it will be because they are ready to take on new challenges that will help them advance in their careers. Changing and growing as I did should be part of the professional development process. In my experience, belonging has been central to this process and to my path. In closing tonight, I want to wish you the best on your journey to finding your own ways of belonging and creating belonging. Finding yourself in this work and finding the right place to do your work is so important. If one workplace makes you question your path, try a different workplace. Find a good mentor or coach who will support you and provide you with perspective on your career. But most of all, keep looking for opportunities to be your authentic self. You have a rich and exciting journey ahead of you, and I'm excited for each of you as you take this next step. Good luck and congratulations.
Thank you so very much, Amy. Great words of advice for becoming our authentic self and exercising our passion. And sometimes those passions change depending on our workplace. So we appreciate you so much for bringing that leadership and knowledge to the table and advising us tonight. So thank you so much, Amy. We're very grateful that you came tonight. Also a good friend. She also did her internship with me 100 years ago, right, Amy? But very glad that you were with us tonight. Thank you so very much. Just a few things as we transition into our presenting our candidates tonight. First, you will be receiving a link that has how to keep in touch with us after you graduate. We want to make sure you follow us on your social media and get that professional profile done in your LinkedIn. You may be needing that very soon. Also follow us in that area. The instructions will be there. Again, if you came in late, we've had a few people come and join us later. Don't forget to congratulate your graduate on our Padlet. Again, that link will be also put into the chat box. And get out your agenda for tonight, because you will want to look at the names so that you'll see when your graduate comes up, because we're going to give you the opportunity to unmute your video or share your video and click on the unmute button and celebrate. You can say a few things. We have 5 seconds or so for each candidate as we call your name. So yell your congratulations as they come across the screen. Okay, and again, you can use the tools at the bottom when you see your candidate come up. We will be starting out to congratulate our class of 2022 by starting with the MED in Instructional Technology and Design graduates. And I introduce to you again, Dr. Katie Walters.
Thank you. I am so happy tonight to announce the candidates for the Masters in Education in Instructional Technology. First, we have Jessica Askew, an educator in Winston-Salem and Forsyth County.
Woo!
Jennifer Goodwin, an educator in Gaston County.
Yay! Go! Woo!
Yay!
Jennifer McFarland, an instructional designer creating continuing
Did we do
education
it just in
courses
time?
for yoga professionals.
Woo!
Gabby Rekla, an educator at Greensboro Day School. Jennifer Sanchez, who's transitioning into the role of instructional designer and product owner at C Prime. And Allison Stromer, an educator in Craven County. Now to introduce the MLIS graduates, Dr. Nora Bird.
Hello again. Yes, I just want to say a couple of words. I was very privileged, along with Dr. Joanna DePolt, to steer the graduates this semester in the final class that they take called the capstone. And I have been so pleased that we made a decision 3 years ago to emphasize field experience and practicums in that final experience, because the work that has been done by our graduates this semester has been incredible. And I want to hold up all of that work that was done by all the people that you will meet right now. First, Monet Hardison Alvin.
Woo! Yay!
Tara Babbitt.
Yay!
Jennifer Nicole Barrier. Caitlin Berry. Emily Burgess. Madison Burley. Sarah Burton.
Woo!
Abigail Clarkson. Margaret Cuthbertson.
Yay, Margaret! Yay! Woo!
Nikki Dobbins.
Yay! Woo!
Anthony Dykehouse. Lauren Ferrara. Christopher Fleming. Neil Fricks. Marie Glover. Stephen Gwenzi. Devin Heron,
Congratulations.
Amanda Ireland Desmond, Amariki Jackson, Becky Keene,
Yay, Becky.
Nell Kramer, Samantha Lashley, Christina Latriano, Frances Long, Michelle Marino Fleischer, Stephanie Marson, Karen McKillop, Stephanie Merritt, Julie Ann Morrill, Amanda Oakley, Diane Palmieri,
Yay, Diane. Yay, Diane. Woo.
Caitlin Perry, Heather Power,
Yay,
Heather.
Woo.
Lindsay Powers, David Provost,
Yay.
Let's go.
Julie Pullen,
Yay. It's Jason.
Jennifer Randall, Avery Riney,
Woo. Go.
Alicia Rivera, Joanna Roberts,
Yay, Joanna.
Joanna.
Congrats, sis.
Michelle Ruskino,
Woo.
Congratulations.
She said it was responding.
Sarah Ross,
He says, thanks a lot.
Alondra Ruiz,
There's a lot of them, but they said it's the biggest class ever.
Paul Schoenwald,
See, they're all over the country, a lot of them.
Katie Schrum, Helen Shuping,
Yay, Helen.
Kelreen Silva, Elizabeth Silver,
Yay, go Sissy.
Elizabeth Simmons, Whitney Simmons,
Yeah.
Whitney!
Mariah Smith,
Yay. Yay.
Houston Sorrells, Marissa Stinson,
Marissa. Woo. Congratulations.
Erica Thompson,
Yay, Erica.
Hannah Thompson, Rebecca Turbeville,
Yay.
Lois Barnes Vinson. Yay. Stephanie Wade,
Yay, Stephanie. Congratulations.
Amber White,
Woo.
Lainey Weddington,
Yeah.
Brandon Widener, Choya Yang, and Jennifer Earp Johnson and Jeffrey Lundgren. Congratulations. These are some of our summer graduates. Chrissy Croisette, Amy Drever. Yay. Saw Amy in the crowd. Katie Gannon, Angela Gray, Samantha Hunter, Carly Krempowski, Amrita Patel, Jose Pena, Margaret Raspberry, Kat Spears, Monica Van Hall, and Kimberly Van Beck. At the end? No, a couple more. Ashley Whittle, and Emily Young. And Maha Al-Sad, Jordan Freeman, Phoebe Green, Brittany Weston, Robin Weston, and Lisa Worsing were also graduated this summer.
Well, again, you've done it and we're so proud of you. I really appreciate all the time that it's taken for you to be here with us tonight, especially at such a busy time of the year. It's just really sweet to see all the support that our graduates have. I really love it. So thank you for being here. I think we have a few closing instructions for getting into rooms if we want. Is that right, Tammy?
Yes, ma'am. Just very quickly, while our faculty goes ahead and leaves the Zoom room, they're going to be joining their breakout rooms. And we have a little space that you can say goodbye or just reminisce a little bit about the semester. And they can go ahead and join their breakout Zoom room. Until then, just a brief reminder to all of our parents and our graduates, please check out the Padlet. That is our celebration Padlet, where we have all of your colleagues and your friends who we hope have had a chance, and your family who've had a chance to post a little congratulation message to you. We are all so very proud of everything that you have accomplished. Again, we have a s'more to help you as you are moving forward, and you're leaving us, but we're not leaving you. We want to make sure we stay connected and you connect with your alumni association. So we have lots of different ways that you can connect with social media or via email so we can share some information with you. And we will put this in the chat box as well. Let me just grab that.